dimension. So 28 by 26 is the pixel dimensions, and 67 by 18 are the pixel coordinates. So if I, whoops, wrong layer. This is head 0. If I put this on at 60, what was it, 67, wait, what? Oh, whoops, yeah, I was looking at the wrong coordinates. The ones in the 60, so 67, 18. That is the position of the hat as worn by the player in the game. So yeah, we can do the same thing with this piece on on this layer, and that is how the cap is worn. Excuse me. So that's fine and all. The thing that was occurring to me is that, like, hypothetically I could save these files all as big as this file, and then I wouldn't have to like do extra blitting, because I could just blit. I could still use the same coordinates and then just use those, like, just blit that subsection of the greater image. So it would be a greater file size on my computer. Oh, and it'd be a greater file size in memory too. Huh. Huh. Yeah, I'll just do it this way for now. It's not that painful. All right, so Cap Brown. I'm gonna move this around so I can see it better. Okay, so hands, shirt, legs. The Cap Brown, I think I touched up already, although it's kind of slightly overlapping the ear, and I might want to just remove 1 pixel from it. Probably. Yeah, I think I do. I just want to remove, so is this head 0. Oops, too much. Just 1 pixel. Just that one there. It's just overlapping the ear in a weird way. So I basically just want to, oops, copy from, hey, it's event time. Copy from this layer, put here, and then, yeah, that's just not as encroaching on the player's ear. Save that. So yeah, basically, my goal is to so like I converted these assets from like a different version, and they got, like, the hat is fairly clean actually, but you'll see a lot of the other assets are like just like fuzzy around the edges and just like generally like poorly drawn. And part of the reason I converted the assets is so that I could add a greater level of detail to them. But sorry, Brawless with an H. Do you recommend going into games industry over regular software development? Sorry. The rest of the question is pay / job stability wise. Sorry. That might answer your question. But I would recommend going to the game industry for any reason other than pay and job stability and quality of life and recognition by your peers and just general respect in society and no, there are a few downsides to being in the games industry, but yeah, no. So I guess actually to answer your question, no. I would not recommend going into the games industry. Mostly because you don't need to recommend people to go into the games industry. People who end up in the games industry, from my experience, end up in the games industry because it's what they wanted to do. I'm more likely to recommend people out of the game industry. I think if you are so impassioned that you want to be in the game industry that you are going to do it no matter what, then like I'm happy to tell you like how to what good advice I can impart in order to succeed, in that choice in life. But like No, like if my sister like told me she was going into game development, I'd be like, no, no, please don't, don't throw your life away. um, I think I think hopefully like that's kind of changing, sort of. I think it's getting to be more like because so okay, so one thing is that like as we're aware of these issues, like okay, so for those who are not, for just to make it completely clear, like pay and job security just are not good in the games industry, which is interesting because if you go in basically any other realm of software, it's like one of the best careers you could go into is like if you like literally just this past year, software engineer overtook doctor as like the number one like highest quality of life job in at least in the country. I don't know if it's the world. Probably just in the United States. I don't know how true that is other places. Um, um, I sorry, I was struggling at Cyril. Um, I yeah. So for that reason, especially when so not only does games industry have like a bunch of issues, but when you compare it to like quote unquote regular software development, like it's night and day. It's like startling. Oh yeah, so I wasn't just ranting though, because we are like people are now like quite aware of these things. Like this is not like it's been this case. It's been this way for a while, and people are actually like starting to like think to themselves, hey, wouldn't it be neat if like the industry didn't suck as hard? Like wouldn't it be neat if like you could actually like be a game developer and like have a life? Wouldn't that be nice? And so I don't know if it's necessarily gonna like I think at some point like it'll probably be better than it is now. Like I think like a decade from now, game developers probably will have like more job security and more. At least I hope. Just like better, just better general lifestyle, but it's not there yet. It's not 100% there, and it's probably better now than it was like a decade ago. So I shouldn't complain necessarily, but I will tell you that if it's less important to you, like if you don't mind going to an office and working on something boring that you don't care about, um, if you can do that and you want to just come home and have a lot of money and a family and people who love you and that sort of thing, like that's entirely understandable. And for a lot of people, that's it's probably the way to go. I I it's funny when I say stuff like that out loud. I have to remind myself, like, wait, why did I why did I choose the choices that I chose? Like, why did I go this way instead? But no, it's yeah. The great part about being in games is not any of those other things. It's just like being able to literally devote your life to literally making fun. Like you're literally making fun for a living. um, excuse me. Oops, that's not supposed to go on that layer. That's supposed to go on this layer. So 66, 52. I can zoom in closer because that'd be easier. 66, 52. There we go. Yeah, these I haven't touched up these files, so you'll notice like the lines are a lot cleaner on the face than they are on the hands because these are left over from when they're a lot smudgier or a lot lower res. Yeah, that's tough. Um, yeah, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I mean, I've been working in game development for the past like 6 years, 7 years or so. And I worked in AAA, So like yeah, I what I did is I knowing what I do about the industry, like I didn't have illusions about it going in. Like I didn't realize how bad it was until I got into it, but I knew like roughly what was my plan of attack. And I was working AAA and I wasn't getting paid a great amount. I was making plenty of money. Like I really can't complain. Um, and knowing the industry what it was, and knowing that like any day could be my last, I just saved, and so now I've gone indie because I when I did have a paycheck, I didn't spend it. I bought what I needed, and then I now have like a comfortable pillow on which or from which I can work. Like I haven't had income for a long time, and like since I went indie, I have not been making money, and and so I've just been like I basically just like yeah like well, kind of like what you're saying about like just have your income and then work on the side. Like I kind of like I staggered it differently. I just I kind of did like all my work up front, and now I have and now I can and now I can afford to work on these projects. So because the nice thing about software is that like generally like the costs are not high. Like if you were working with like physical materials, like you would have to like actually buy, like if you were like a metal worker, or if you were like like a material artist, you'd actually have to like buy your supplies. And the nice thing about the digital canvas is that you can rinse it and reuse it like as many times. So like I bought myself a laptop, like a nice computer, and I have pretty much everything I need. Like I pay for an internet connection, right? And like and of course, general utilities and like life stuff. But yeah, I am like self-sufficient at this point, which is pretty cool. So okay, so I just did the brown cap, the hands, shirt. Right, so let's have a torso. Why not? So chest, shirt. This one's fairly simple. What are the dimensions, or what are the coordinates of the shirt? 6640, and this goes on chest. It actually goes on chest 2. 6640 Blamo. And then file open. I'm leaving those files open in the background because I know I'll need to come back to those. Oh, and then the legs. The legs. 2 layers, 2 frames of animation. So there are 4 images altogether. Yeah, this is why I don't have. This is like people ask me a lot. Why does my dream? Why is my game? Sorry, I was reading your chat while I was talking. Why my game only runs at 2 frames per second, and it's because if I had more frames per second, I would have to draw more frames of animation, and I'm not really ready for that sort of commitment. Because if I had tons of frames of animation, there's no way I would ever go back and like reconvert my assets like this. It would just be like, I'd be like, sorry assets, you're all wrong now, and you'll be wrong forever. um, uh, Flappy Bird. Didn't the creator of Flappy Bird like go like literally insane, or like just like basically completely lose his mind? I feel like I remember that happening at one point. Uh, Legs 0, yes. What are the dimensions? 60, 61, 60, 61. Deselect. Oh, I guess I didn't really need to deselect, but whatever. Same as last one. Oops, wrong layer. This one goes on layer 1. And I'm going to make the many-legged beast, but I'll fix that in a second. 60, 61. The many-legged beast. Alright, this is layer 2. Legs layer 2. 6061. There we go. And then last but not least. Alright. Hey, event time. Layer 3. 6061. If you guess 6061, congratulations. You are smart. Or you just remembered the same thing that I said like for the past like however long, a million times over. Alright, so let's hide one set of legs for starters, and then clean these up. So yeah, basically like this used to be like 50% smaller, and we just like zoomed in. We just like expanded it a little bit. And what we haven't done yet, and what I plan to do now, is just to clean it up. So like, I'm going to use a relatively small brush. I might even use a size 1 brush. This could get me into trouble, because like I tend to, when I'm using size 1 brush, I tend to make detail that's way too, oh, I'm going to draw on all the wrong layers all day, I swear. This is going to be really bad. So actually I should keep sampling on layer instead of on image, otherwise I'm going to accidentally mess up a ton of stuff. Wait, what? Oh, chest, yeah, so for example, I should be drawing on chest 2, not chest 0. There we go. Yeah, just, I should be using brush size 2. Alright. I can do less harm with brush size 2. So for example, the shaded areas should just go like so. Oh, no, hold on, let me hide the top hands layer just so I can get in the armpit and stuff. Yeah, this is going to be a little rough. But I only have to do it once. And I like the new resolution, so I think I'll just... Whoops, I'm deleting the neck. I should not delete the neck. I just have to do this once, and then I like the new resolution, so hopefully I'll just never have to change the resolution ever again. Maybe I'll have to change the resolution again, but hopefully it just won't be for a long time that I have to do that. So, fingers crossed. Now I do kind of need to use brush size 1 for some of this stuff. I'll just try and use it sparingly. Ugh. Alright. It's possible. It's possible I should be drawing this on a new layer. I mean, I could also just be like redrawing it instead of excuse me. Instead of wow. Excellent job, Cyril. You are catching up to Lauren. I mean, I can just redraw this basically. Like, I don't need to stay completely faithful to the original. The original, like, because actually the original was drawn at a much lower resolution. So yeah, no, I should stop using brush size 1, because my goal here is not to recreate exactly what I had before. My goal here is to make what I have here look good. So yes, let's do that. So hands. All right. Oops, wrong layer. Hand 0. Doop 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 doop. Oh yeah, actually I should do this one first. Derp 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 derp. And then clean up the edges because they're a little bit dusty or just smudgy or just generally weird. Thanks. That didn't come out quite right. I feel like I should just redraw this arm considering how broken it is. The arm, I don't know, I think the arm used to be a little more noodly. And I think it's like denoodling, but like in at an awkward like pace. So hold on. Let me see what I can do here. This is not better. Oh, that's a little bit better. Alright, I think that was what was creeping me out. Was how weirdly bent that side was. That's fine. again, I can reshape this as needed. So for example, the fist is like, I think, coming up too high now. Oh yeah, also I can actually shape the fist. Like the fist was just kind of like a dot before because like I couldn't really do much with like the level of detail that I had. But like now I actually can do something more like that. Sorry, was I paying attention to? Oh, sorry. Steeler 743. Thank you. I like that. I like that cinematic feel. Like 1915 cinematic. um Whoa. And yeah, sorry, I had zoned out of chat for a second, but the Dong Nguyen, uh, creator of Flappy Bird, made $50,000 a day during the height of Flappy Bird flappiness. That is good for him. Good for him. Apparently, that's the price of sanity. Uh, all right. So let's do the other hand. I might have to retune some of the dimensions of this art too, because I might be changing this by like a pixel. I might. Hold on. I'm not sure I'm using the right tone for this backhand. I'm gonna sample from image. Hopefully, I won't accidentally like ruin my everything. Or I should just be color picking from the face because the face has nice wide regions. That that is a weird like meat mallet back here. What do I want it to look like? More like that, I guess. And actually, it actually kind of makes sense for it to be more shaded. So this might be close to okay. I'll just like let's go like that, I guess. That seems okay. I'll zoom out to make sure it looks okay at a distance too. But yeah, I think I am resculpting some of this, which is fine. I just have to stay cognizant of that. The fists are a little bit big. Huh. I was just thinking if like do I want to change anything about the like oops wrong there. Do I want to change anything about how I am like shaping or posing the character? Because like the other thing like with having more well no, I think I wasn't getting creative with the chest. So actually let me instead of like redrawing the chest exactly how it was before, let's draw it the way that we want it now instead. Whoops, well not like that, but hold on. Whoa, I'm drawing this on the right layer. Alright. I was drawing it on chest layer 0, not chest layer 2. Whoops. Alright, yeah, the bottom left foot does look a little cut off. That's like one of the things that like it looked good enough back when I had like the other version of the art, but like now that we're not as like we're not quite as constrained, we actually can put in a greater level of detail. So like yeah, I kind of like left that as like, you know, that was basically what I could do with it with the old system, but yeah, no, this is like yeah, I should really be taking this as an opportunity to like not just you know, redo this stuff, but actually like make this stuff as good as I want it to be, as I'd hope for it to be. And so one of the curious things about that is that like the like the physiology of this character, for lack of a better term, was very exaggerated. Like the arms like coming way out to the side, like when the character was like so much smaller, like that was the only way really to get it to read. But yeah, no, whoops. now we have better we have more just like more space to work with really. So I don't know. This might be an even bigger task than I kind of estimated it to be, but we'll see. The nice thing is that one of the chest upgrades I already did, and the other chest upgrade is a recolor of this chest upgrade, or of this version of the chest. So that should go fairly quickly. That part should, anyways. I mean, I don't even have to just go two-toned anymore. Like, I could, like, right now, I, like, have, a lighter tone and a darker tone, primarily. But I could, like, I could introduce, like, a middle tone there if I wanted to. I don't know if I'll do that quite yet. Whoops, I'm on the wrong layer. I was just randomly jumping over to the legs. Let's do the legs one at a time. So I'll do just so I don't accidentally draw the legs on the wrong layer. Let's just, yeah, the legs need a lot of work. Because, like, the legs have, like, a storied and troubled history. Actually, I'll hide the top layer of hands while I do this. The legs, yeah, they've been through a lot. The original version of the legs were so bad. They were so bad. Like, I can't even really convey to you how bad they were. You just, like, when I say they're so bad, like, whatever you're picturing, like, just picture, like, a weird mess of lines that make no sense. Because, like, it actually looked fine the way I drew it here, but as soon as I put it into the game, they didn't read. Like, instead of looking like a pair of legs, like, alternating between, like, stepping forward and back, it looked like it just looked like this weird squiggly line that just, like, jittered. It literally looked like the character was, like, a weird, like, octopus creature and just, like, had weird, like, tentacles, like, sticking out and just, like, wiggling around. Or, like, it looked like the character had no legs and was just, like, riding on top of, like, a really hyperactive snake or something. It's in the video archives if you dig it up. It was probably the worst thing that I've ever drawn. Probably. I don't know how much shading to use here, because I mean, like, if I follow the shading of this shirt, it should actually cover, like, most of that. But then I mean, it's like maybe like that, I guess. I don't know. I think I hiked the pants up a little too high. Let's bring that down a touch. Oh yeah, maybe the pants were hiked up a little too high. Maybe I should just bring them down, like, across the whole. Yeah, because, like, this part of the shirt, we weren't actually even seeing this before. We weren't seeing any of that. So yeah, one part of the reasons I made the character art bigger was so that I could add in details like belts and stuff. Because, like, the eye darks that I tried to draw earlier, and like belts, and like anything like worn around the neck or like over the chest, like yeah, oh yeah, so that's the thing. I can't actually, so with the foot, yeah, sorry, I was just catching up on chat. Like, with the foot, I can't go lower than this line, or at least I certainly shouldn't. And actually, I should probably remind myself of that line, because this is the line, this is the line that the characters are supposed to be standing on. So yeah, actually, I'm kind of glad you brought that up, because actually no, I'll just draw it on. Let's draw it on the background layer. Yes, let's draw it as, like, a different tone on the background layer. It doesn't have to be dramatically different. Oh, you know what? I should. No, I made the background tone green because it makes the character look more, like, in setting. Like, because I think green will be the predominant color of like the background, because it'll be, like, primarily, like, foliage and stuff like that. And I made it a bright color so that it was very in your face and would contrast well while I was trying to draw the character art. But yeah, so right, so this is the ground plane basically, and So I don't want to draw underneath that. The exception there is for the familiars. The familiars can walk next to the character. So for example, if you had like a mouse character, the mouse character could, for example, and the mouse character does, because I'm not actually using an example, I'm actually talking about a real thing. The mouse character, like, you know, hangs out right here. So it kind of looks like so even though the adventurer's like foot comes back like this, like it doesn't look like you're stepping on the mouse. It kind of looks like the mouse is walking next to you a little bit. Okay. Anyways, as we were. Oh right, so this is definitely not right with the way the pants are shaded. It's definitely the shading is definitely supposed to come up higher, just to make that leg come forward. And I think I can though. I can change the chest. So for one thing, the chest doesn't come down very far. Like it kind of like stops higher up. And yeah, maybe something like that. Actually, so yeah, so for the legs, not quite like that, but yeah. How's that? Is that? No, it's still. Yeah, I can't draw the legs like like the legs have to follow like their own weird special rules, because when the legs like follow the normal rules that I normally would draw by, they just end up looking like crazy and weird and no good. So the legs are like, to a certain extent, I just have to not think about what I want to do, but what I have to do. So I don't have gender in this game, which is by which I mean there's like there's no male characters versus female characters, so I am specifically avoiding any trope of gender. So like for example, a lot of people think that like they have long hair or something. I mean, this is actually just supposed to be like a cap, like a cap with like a tail coming down. Although I don't know, it's really small, so like some people interpret it as hair, but whatever. Yeah, so like I actually like so the reason that like when I was like working on art earlier, the reason I was adding like a collar and a hood and stuff, and like the reason I couldn't like the reason I didn't want to just put like a crown or like a headband is that then I would have to draw the hair. Yeah, so like in every situation the hair is like supposed to be entirely covered up, and the reason for that is that hair is very gendered. Like it's hard to draw androgynous hair. So yeah, that is one thing that I will have to figure out somehow at some point, or just like I'll just have to get very good at like knowing what are the restrictions for drawing, for how I draw that stuff, because it's tricky. It's a bit of a puzzle. Alright, eraser. Get these lines a little less fuzzy. Oh, I didn't do that on the top layer yet, have I? I can defuzz these layers, these lines a bit. Just get it a little sharper. I should really do the boot. That boot is screaming for help. That boot. And again, I should basically redraw it. Cause yeah, the boot is supposed to be like touching the ground, but it's not supposed to be. So part of the reason it was flat like that is because that made it feel like it wasn't hovering above the ground. It made it feel like it was on the ground. So it is still going to stay a little bit flat. And so the other thing that's interesting is you actually see the feet a lot less often than you see the rest of the character, because there are things in the foreground that cover up part of the character, and like they're usually pretty low to the ground, and so the feet are actually the first thing that get like out of the picture. They get like took out of the picture. So the other thing is I remember having a heck of a time getting the feet to like, oh, look foot shaped. Right, yeah, that was the other thing. And so I kind of cheated it a little bit by making the heel a little bit wider. So now I get to do all that fun stuff once more. Uh, feet are weird shaped. um, I'm gonna make it go a little more upwards. Not that much, but a little more. And then, maybe something like that. I don't know. It's hard to... Well, yeah, I did end up making it pretty flat again. So, that's probably fine. Alright, so then, doop-a-doop, doop-a-doop-a-doop. Yeah, I should, so, another thing I should do, oh shoot, I drew that in the wrong layer. Wrong layer. And then do that a lot, unfortunately. The other thing, so another thing I should be wary of is, because I'm changing the silhouette a little bit, I want to change the silhouette consistently throughout the images. So when I add in the new stuff, I'll probably want to put it on a new layer on top of the old stuff so that I can keep the old stuff around for a minute to make sure that the new stuff is and the old stuff are the same shape. Because I just like changed the torso, the shape of the torso, not like dramatically, but I definitely changed the shape of the arms, and I changed the shape of the torso a little bit, and I changed the shape, all that stuff. So I'll want to go through and make sure that the art is consistent still. I think the shoe actually had like a bit of color on the heel, or a bit of a lighter tone on the heel. Not much though. And of course, there was the rest of it. And yeah, I think it was something like that. How does this look from a smaller version? It's not bad. You know, it's not much improved. Like, it's not much different. I wonder if it's actually even worth going through this stuff. Like, does that adventure look supremely better? Like, materially improved over the ones that we have in game? Whoa, did the game freeze? Oh, did the game freeze? That was one of the potential outcomes of that loop that I set up. That apparently is not breaking correctly. Hey, we got a new follower. LC Gaming Korea. Welcome. Sorry for mispronouncing your name, but I appreciate your viewership and your support. Thank you for following. Yeah, that game's super frozen, huh? Cool. So, yeah, it looks like it froze a little while ago. Unfortunately, that's not very helpful for it to just freeze like that. So I'm gonna try, I mean, there's not much I can get out of it in terms of, like, diagnostic information, so, what, So, oh, so if last value, yeah, huh, oh, yeah, wait, oh my gosh, I'm a crazy person. I can't check this up front. Last value greater than growth list? Right. No, I have to initialize last value to this plus 1. Otherwise, like, this will never evaluate true. And then this will be a loop. Infinite. So that was probably that. Because this has to evaluate true at least once. Otherwise, yeah, we just never. Right. So it'll evaluate true once, and then the only time last value will change. Well, no, last value changes immediately. Can it though? Or is that just going to lock us into the same loop? Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, this last value greater than growth list thing doesn't even... Right, this is a vestige of the former system. So, so maybe I also need just an else case to this. Yeah, no, I definitely do. Uh, and it needs to be this. Excuse me. Uh, so this same else case needs to be here, because oops, needs to be here because yeah, in the case that right, this loop used to just automatically decrement, but it doesn't decrement automatically anymore, so we need to do it manually as such. And we're not just decrementing anymore. We're not just like stepping down by one each time. We're stepping down by a random amount. So, or rather, we're just picking a random number that's lower. And that should work. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh shoot. I was just thinking, I kind of wanted to compare the old art to the new art to see if like if like this effort that I'm expending is worthwhile. Because like if this effort isn't gonna like be noticeable, then like there's not a ton of point in doing it. Like if the old version is fine, then maybe I shouldn't be maybe I shouldn't bother. Uh, hmm. Well, the game wouldn't. I was gonna look at the game graphics, which is why I noticed that it was frozen. But the game graphics wouldn't have been a very good comparison, anyways. So maybe I should. Yeah, I'm gonna. Hmm. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick comparison. I will rerun the script now that it is fixed. I should really just shorten the timing on that because like currently the test cycle is like 30 seconds long. Whoa, are we gonna just crash immediately? No, I don't know what that was. My computer was thinking hard for a second there. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna compare these that we have. So I don't think I've updated these yet. I'm pretty sure I haven't. All right, so save this, I guess, and then file open. Or actually, no. I'll just new layer, put it up here. Oh, wait, I think this layer is a fake layer. Yeah, I was gonna add in a new layer, but I didn't actually. So I could have just used that one, but whatever. All right, so I'm just gonna quickly piece this together again. I won't bother being like pixel perfect. Just as long as it's like roughly there. Yeah. New layer. Copy. Oh yeah. Smoosh these. Oh wait, no. No, whatever. I'll just add a ton of new layers. That's fine. This will go quick enough. Should go quick enough. And then new layer for the legs. Copy. Paste. Oops, what did I just do? Sometimes if you like grab these if you grab selections like right in the dead center, sometimes they do weird things. Like I don't even know what. Like there's this, I don't know what it was this, oh, is this the point of rotation? I don't know what that is. I don't know what it means. I'm scared to touch it. Alright, new layer. Copy. Paste. And let's move this down. Alright, so this is the old version that we just put on top. I'm just going to smoosh these layers together. So we can just do a quick comparison. Old version, new version, old version, new version. It's like a little bit sleeker. It's like the streamlined version. But like, does that make a major difference? I'm not sure that's 100% better. I mean, it kind of is. I also thin the character out a lot. Like the character's a lot scrawnier than they used to be. Which I mean that's easy enough to fix, but is this worth the effort? I might just not. Honestly. Cause like I don't think it shows up. Hold on, let me look at the visuals in game. Sorry, the only way I can really evaluate the visuals in game is to make OBS really big, and it makes this happen, so sorry. But even that, it's like kind of like too small. Like yeah, I think I should just I should probably just live with the old visual. Should I just live with the old? No, they're really rough. They're like noticeably rough around the edges. And like those are actually going to be seen more often than a lot of the later stage art, because like everyone starts at level 1. Not everyone will make it to level 100, but everyone will start at level 1. So yeah, it's probably worthwhile. I will probably do this. I should back up the old versions just in case I change my mind. Did I do that already? Did I make a backup of the equipment? I forget how recently I did that, so I'm gonna do it again before I start changing stuff. There we go. All right, so oh wow, it's 8:02. I'm probably going to take a break, and by break I mean this is probably. Oh, I still haven't tested the. I still haven't successfully tested the passive bonus whatever, but I think I'll have to do that tomorrow. So I'm gonna switch over to Facecam for a second. Hey, I am a giant volcano person. Sorry. Last thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to right. Oh yeah. I like to end the stream by finding another cool dev streamer out there and kicking it over to their channel, because there are a lot of cool dev streamers out there. And the one thing, I think because game dev streaming is really new, like the biggest obstacle to dev streaming right now is like discoverability, in my opinion. So to the extent I can, I like to help my followers. I like to help people who watch my channel to find other good dev streamers, and I like to help up and coming dev streamers find an audience too. So this is, I think I'm just so the reason I switched to face cam is because I'm not supposed to show other people's streams on my stream. I'm just like loading up streams right now to see who's on, who's good. I think I found one. At least this person's usually good. Hold on, I'll leave their. Yeah, I think they're gonna be pretty good. Right. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just gonna check one other. So while I'm loading this up, I'll say thank you to everyone who followed. Like, thank you to all the new followers. Thank you for all the returning friends. And I always have fun. Look back through my video archive. I always have fun. It's it's just a part of the stream. It's just how I stream. So thank you to everyone who tuned in, and I hope to see you all again in the near future. I'll probably be up again tomorrow, so if not then maybe Friday or next week, whenever you feel like tuning back in. I look forward to it. And so until next time, have a wonderful whatever time of day it is where you are, and I see you soon. Bye. Goodbye, friends. Bye. Have a good night. Have a good whatever time of day it is where you are. All right. No. Stream delay. Blammo. I never know how to time those things, but who knows? Maybe I'm getting it right. I don't know.